Is my visor on straight?
It looks great.
Greetings, sports fans from Gassville, Arkansas. Week 12 in the NFL. We're here. It's over. Wasn't that great for me, but it was pretty good for other people. I'm telling you, it's a story of my whole season. Everybody else doing good and me having a tough time of it. But in my defense, we had 1, 2, 3, 4 upsets this week. 4 of them. And 3 overtime games. That was a little rough on me, you know. I managed to pick 2 of them, but lost on a big one. I had a little bet going with the bookies, and I lost that bet. I took the Colts on the money line, and if I'd have taken the damn points, I'd have won by half a point, but I didn't. I took the money line because I was greedy, and I lost. Some of you lost with me. Not everybody took the Chiefs, that's for certain. But it was a really good game. And then that Lions game, wow. I got to tell you, Surfer Girl, she did pretty good. She took the Jets plus 13.5. That one panned out for her against the Ravens. And she also took the Giants with the 13 points. And that was one of the overtime games, was the Lions game. And she won that one too. But my bet lost.
But I covered your ass.
Which she does on a regular basis. But pretty wild week this week. The Jaguars and Cardinals game, that was pretty exciting too. But in the end, who cares? All that really matters is who won for this week, week 12 in the NFL. Well, it was Uncle Edge. The guy who's been performing all year long. I think he's had the lead since the second week. And here it is 10 weeks later. Count them, 10 weeks. Still on top. He got 12 all by himself and got the 2 tiebreaker points. I tip my visor, sir. Incredibly good picking. 12 out of 14 games. That's great. I don't care who you are. That is just fabulous picking. He eats up the 2 tiebreaker points, which, those are real good to have, especially when you're on top, which he is. Congratulations, Unc. You're having a great season. And then we had a bunch of 11-game winners. We had the Badgers hanging tight. We had the Rooster, Jayhawker, Lady Hawk, Mr. Clean, and the Batman. All had 11 wins this week. Good, solid picking. Where you want to be, that's for certain. If you could finish out the year, you'd have it. If I could only be consistent, 1 or 2 or 3 or the rest of the weeks would be great. I'd be doing a whole lot better. And then we had the 10-game winners. The Counselor, The Undertaker, Cracklin' Rosie, and Hollywood all got 10 wins this week. Good for you. I'm not with you, but, good for you. Kind of sad for me. Then we had the 9-game winners. They were the Coyote, Southpaw, and Goldilocks. A little surprise there. Usually do a little better. The Hangster came in with 9. And me, the Slow Horse, come in with 9 wins. It's terrible. To me, the rest of you're only one off having double digits, but it gives me bad agita. I get heartburn. This really tends to bother me. And I'm on medication for it sometimes, but it's killing me. And then we had 1 8-game winner. A little disappointment for the Surfer Girl. Come down just a little bit this week. Only had 8 wins. And while still a winning record, we all know it's not good. It's not good, not this late stages of the contest. You gotta be banging it out. And not just her, but I ain't banging it out either. And the only thing I can offer you, Surfer Girl, is the fact that you were not on the bottom. which can make you feel good. I know that when I'm not on the bottom, I feel better than when I am on the bottom. But that was taken up by the Boilermaker. He was seeing new heights. He was climbing the wall. He was coming up, and then he got knocked off the ladder. And he hit hard. 7 wins. That's tough for anybody. The 500 Club. Nobody wants to be there. Nobody wants to be with those old people. If you remember that TV show, no one liked the 500 Club. Nobody. So I feel for you, Boilermaker, but it's just been a rough season for you, bro. Maybe you need to go see Zoltan, because however you're making these picks, it ain't working. You're on the bottom, you've been on the bottom, and you need to get off the bottom. Do something, do anything. Feel for you. Anyway, as you know, over the years, before we get to the board and all that fun stuff, I've got supporters out there, sponsors that help put this show on here in Gassville. It's a tough location. They're very appreciated. So now, from my sponsors, Handicappers Anonymous.
Is this you on any given Sunday? Do the shifting tides of victory and defeat hurl you about like a lone vessel battling a merciless sea? At Handicappers Anonymous, you will find kindred souls, those who have walked the same perilous path, those who have tasted the bitter sting of desperation, agony, humiliation, and the fleeting, intoxicating rise of exaltation, followed inevitably by fear and self-loathing. We understand how you feel, truly. Can we help you with your losses? Absolutely not. But we can be there to nod sympathetically when you explain why it should have covered. Let's be honest, no one seeks support when you're winning. It is only in the darkness that we gather.
All right, let's take a look at the board. I made the green line a little bigger this week so you all can see it easier. But there he is. First place, 10 weeks in a row. That may be unprecedented. I'm not certain, but it may be. 12 wins for the week. Outstanding. Did I say that earlier? I'm saying it now if I didn't. Outstanding picking. Did better than he was last week. He's on the rise from last week. 124 wins, 4 tiebreaker points. Well done. There's the star, Unc. There you are. And now we got a tie for second place here. Southpaw and Goldilocks, they had 9 this week. A little down from last week. 11 games last week, which brings you to a grand total of 121 and 2 points. And Cracklin' Rosie, she came down a little this week too. She had 10, 11 last week, 121 and 2 points. So, there they are, Ark. They're looking to get you. They're only 3 behind you. So you better watch out. And then we got the Badgers. The Badgers, they got 11 wins this week. That's good. That's respectable. I wish I had 11 wins. They had 13 last week, really coming on hard last week. So, a little down from last week, but they're resting on 120 wins, 5 tiebreaker points. And then the Jayhawker, who just keeps slugging away, man. He's like a closing thoroughbred, man. He's coming on. He's coming on. He's like at the top of the stretch. I don't know what's the stretch yet. Maybe it'll be the last 5 weeks. But in any event, Jayhawker, 11 wins this week, 12 last week. You're down from last week, but geez, that ain't bad. 120 wins, 4 tiebreaker points. Then the Hankster, he will not go away. He's like a dog on your leg, man. I don't know if he's humping it or he's attacking it, but he won't go away. Hangster, 9 wins this week. A little tough one there. I know the feeling. I had 9 too. 12 last week, which leaves him at 119 and 2 tiebreaker points. And the last person above the green line. Then we move down. We got Lady Hawk. She's trying to climb. 11 wins this week. She had 12 last week. A little bit down. 118, no tiebreaker points. I don't know how she hasn't scored any. I know how I haven't, because I haven't won for a week in forever. It's very disconcerting. Then Lucky Dan, a rookie man. He came in with only 9 this week. He had tough in the afternoon like I did. 11 last week for 116 and 2 tiebreaker points. And then the counselor. I was on top of him last week. And now this week, he's standing on me and he's jumping. He's jumping on me. He got 10 wins this week, 10 wins last week, flat from last week, but with 116 points and 1 tiebreaker point. He's coming for you, Lucky Dan. And then you got me. 9 wins. Like a kick in the shins, hard. You know, the one that kind of like brings tears to your eyes. But, you know, you don't really make a yelp. You just kind of hold it in. That's me. I had 12 wins last week. I got me double down. Double down. Very disappointed. I'm sure you're all shocked. You know, 115 wins, no tiebreaker points. Excuse me. Mr. Clean, 11 wins this week. He's one of the few that are trending up. He had 9 last week, tough week last week. He's got 114 wins, 1 tiebreaker point. And then we got the Rooster. He was flat from last week, 11 and 11, but he's sitting on 113 with 2 tiebreaker points. Then the Undertaker right there next to him. 10 wins this week, 10 wins last week, 113, 1 tiebreaker point. And then the Batman, who somehow remained flat from last week. He had 2 good weeks, 2 11-win weeks. But he's still down here with the rest of us jamokes. 113, 1 tiebreaker point. Then Hollywood. Hollywood come in with 10 wins this week. She had 11 last week, trending down a bit. 112 wins, 2 tiebreaker points. And then we got the Coyote, who slipped down a little bit. It was painful. Coyote, he had 9 this week, coming off at 12 last week. And that leaves him with 112 and 0 tiebreaker points. And then the Surfer Girl. Well, you know, she was doing good last week. Got her numbers up a bit, but did a little slip this week with, did I got her down for 9? She had 8. Uh-oh. Oh, no.
But the math.
Oh, no. The math is still right. The math is still right, but I should have put down this as an 8. I'll fix that later, folks. Don't worry. She had 8, 10 last week, down, but 110, 0 tiebreaker points. And then, well, we got the Boilermaker. I didn't do the math wrong on that Boilermaker. I wish I had. Help you out somehow. 7 wins. 11 last week. It was like the bottom dropped out. That's 4 losses. 4 less wins. That's tough. With 106, which leaves you in last place, brother. Got to do something. All right, we got 3 games on Thursday, 1 game on Friday, which happens to be the Bears. And I'm pulling hard for the Bears, but I don't know if I'm picking them yet. I'll have to see how things go. I'm thinking about going and seeing a Gypsy again. And want to wish you all a very happy Thanksgiving. From me, the Surfer Girl, and all the help here at Studio One in Gassville, Arkansas. Have a great Thanksgiving. And don't forget, have a good betting week too.